looked in danger of slipping through Carson's hands, but no, he got a good contact. Well, 3.5 minutes played, and it's been 3.5 minutes of non-stop Arsenal. Rosicky with the corner. Mellberg got his foot to it. Two managers who in recent weeks have shown very little interest in churning from club management to international management. There'd be plenty taking their hand off if they were to show any interest in it. Just having to be a little careful here, Arsenal, but Clichy really is some player. He's found Flamini to Rosicky. This is nice. Flamini through to Alexander Kleb. What a goal this could be if Kleb can finish. Carson got his right foot in the way. Great break from Arsenal. Given away by Flamini. And here's Carew. And Bonlahol making his run now. John Carew. Oh, and it's come to Gardner! Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and Craig Gardner scores the goal. Third of the season for the youngster. A little bit of luck may be involved here. Defensive header fell to Gardner in a cracking position. It was deflected and then headed on to Gardner. But Villa will take it any way it comes, and it's come through Gardner, and they lead 1-0. Already beaten Chelsea here, Martin O'Neill's side. Now they lead Arsenal. Sagna. Diarra. That's good play. Gareth Barry just had a little touch at Diarra. Referees let it go on. Eboué. That's nice. Eboué now. Rosicky in the middle. Flamini. Great finish. 1-1. He lashed that with his left foot. Terrific build-up play here. This is excellent. Great position for Eboué. And Flamini just took it away from Kleb, said, "This is mine," and bang, did he hit that. Sweet as you like with the left foot. And this game now is set up to be something really special at 1-1 already. Rosicky. All kinds of room right-hand side. Adebayor might have let that run to Kleb. Now it goes to Kleb. And Flamini scored with a left-footed rasper. This one hit with his right. Just rising too much. And Kleb, and Diarra. Rosicky and Sagna and Kleb. Eboué looking for Kleb again. It's found its way to Sagna. Adebayor in the middle. Good header, great goal. Aston Villa really rattled Arsenal here, but they are a class act, and they are now in front. Just great ball retention from Arsenal, waiting their moment. And when the cross came from Sagna, Adebayor was onto it. And 10 minutes before half-time, Arsenal are in front. Towering, powerful header from Emmanuel Adebayor. Finds Young, and Young takes on Sagna, and Sagna looked to foul him. Aston Villa free kick. Well, Sagna claims he took possession of the ball here, but that's an arm, not a shoulder. Real chances for Aston Villa. Young to take. Good delivery, good punch to Almunia. Gardner now. Back in, oh, Larson missed it. Maloney's there. Carew on the turn, still Carew. And Larson couldn't get it over the line. Oh, there's more than one chance here for Aston Villa. Randy Lerner here today. Can't fail but to have been impressed with what he's seen from Martin O'Neill's side. And Hleb is brought down by an industrial tackle from John Carew, which, to be kind, was a striker's challenge of the worst kind. Well, if any tackle deserved a yellow card, it was that one. Carew won the header, and Maloney almost in behind Kolo Touré. Villa have a corner here. Still very much in this game. Young with the corner kick. Out by Sagna at the near post. Baumer back to Young. 5 in the middle, still Aston Villa. Carew off the bar! Don't get much closer than that without scoring. Terrific header from Carew. 2 inches lower, it's a goal. Melberg to launch to Carew. Agbonlahor is in there, Maloney's in there, Sagna and Almunia. Oh. Great tackle by Barry, here's Carew. Big appeal from Aston Villa. It was a magnificent challenge by Barry on Diarra. Not often you see Arsenal penned in like this, but Aston Villa have them by the throat at the moment. Well, the old ground is packed to the rafters again. Been a long time since the roof of the Holt End has vibrated to such noise. Gareth Barry now. Young. Good ball in, back at it from Carew. Been a really good battle between Young and Bakary Sagna. Eboué might open up here. Diarra. Had precious few sights of Aston Villa's goal in this second half, Arsenal. Diarra was wayward. Here's Carew. Good try. Oh, and Almunia's there. Well hit by Maloney. It was dipping and it was on target, but it was a fairly comfortable save for Almunia, and that might be the last chance that Aston Villa get. And Arsenal have the points, but there's not much wrong with Aston Villa. Rarely can a side have played so well for so little reward. It's been a magnificent game, and Arsenal have survived, but boy have they had to work for these points. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 2, Arsenal top of the pile still.
I feel first 45 minutes were absolutely stunning, and we came back, we scored great goals, had many chances. Second half we dropped. I feel we lost a bit our focus at the end of the first half already, because we became a bit too easy, and Villa gave us less room, of course, and we were certainly less mobile in the second half, and we had to show real resilience.
Play like that against perhaps any other team in this division, you'd beat them.
Well, actually, we should have got something out of the game today, even against Arsenal. I mean, they're an excellent side. They pass it brilliantly. They've been doing that for some considerable time, but I don't think that they've been put under that type of pressure possibly all season, even maybe against Manchester United.
I think you've shown today in the Arsenal midfield that you can still be very, very effective even without Fabregas, who of course everybody rightly is talking about this season.
Yes, of course, because we said we are complementary. He's a little bit more offensive, have to be a little bit more defensive than him. But today, Cesc wasn't here, so had to push a little bit more in midfield just to make the difference. And I did it, so I'm very happy for me and for the team because everybody worked it very hard today, and we deserve our 3 points.
An exhilarating game of football played between two teams that went all-out attack.
Just a great watch and just one of the best, really, and such a contrast in the two halves. The first half, we've virtually run out of superlatives at Arsenal. We've watched them all season, we've complimented them in the pass, the move, the touching, the technique, but today, as Arsene Wenger said, it was just stunning. But to Martin O'Neill's credit, he must have said something at half-time because the second half, they got tighter, quicker, they got in about them, no fluency in Arsenal play, and conceivably, they could have had a result. Aston Villa. I mean, they played that well in the second half. Arsenal could have been 6 up at half-time, but in the second half, Villa definitely deserved the result.
Terrific to watch.
Yeah, that's as good as I've seen this season, their first half performance. I just thought it had everything. I mean, the passing and movement, as we keep on saying about Arsenal, was sensational, the 1 and 2 touch. But second half, as they said on the interview there, Villa would have beat most teams there today with their second half performance, and I think maybe they deserved a point out of the game.
Well, let's have always worth watching a bit of Arsenal at their very best, and as you both said, they were in the first half, and there was some terrific stuff.
Well, it's like, probe. We'll probe. We'll look for the space, and when we get the space, we'll pulverise them. It's into feet, it's back, it's bump, 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 bump. Villa players can get close to it, could win a goal.
I'd love to be at their training sessions, Arsenal, because they're just all so comfortable on the ball. 1, 2 touch, and it's just great on the eye. It's great to watch.
You'd be a bit out of place there.
I would, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
You'd be on a bench, son.
But, I mean, look at them. They're just all comfortable. Nothing phases them. They don't mind giving their players the ball when they're under pressure because they know their teammates can handle it.
They all want the ball as well.
Well, this is it. There's so many options. That's the thing about being in possession when you've got so many options. And you just play it, And as I say, you just keep probing. This is the second goal. This is brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And then they show they can cross it and head it as well. Great balling, Adebayor. Fantastic header. The keeper absolutely no chance.
Climbs and stays in the air for a couple of seconds and powerful header.
And you thought at that stage they were going to overwhelm Villa.
Yeah, so how did Villa turn it around? What was the difference in the second half?
They just came out fighting, and they got... Martin must have said, what you've got to do to this side, you've got to get tighter, quicker. And in the second half, Arsenal never had the same luxury of time and space. In there quick, all over the pitch. Didn't matter where it was. There's burying tight, getting in about their faces. Don't let them get that valuable time and space to play. And that's why it was a different game. Never ever got the same fluency as they had in the first half. There you are again, 3-4 in the challenge. No fluency, no control, and Villa come right back in it.
A lot of exceptional young players on that field, and nice to see on the Villa side anyway, a couple of young English ones, notably Ashley Young.
Yeah, I like him. I think there was 1 or 2 eyebrows raised when Martin paid all that money for him, but he's shown what he's worth now. And what I like about him is that he stretches teams. He gets a bit of chalk on his boots, and he can go either way. We've got him here whipping it in with his right foot.
Quite unusual that a right-footed player would play that side.
But he can actually go down that side as well. And have a look at this for a ball. I mean, as a centre forward, I want to know when my midfield player's going to whip it in, and it must be great for Carew and Agbonlahor to know.
Runs.
We've seen him whip 2 balls in with his right foot. Well, all right, I can actually go down on my left foot as well. He doesn't get the ball in, but he's making the defender think about things. And as I said, they know what he's going to do, because just look at the bodies in the box there for Villa. All right, he doesn't get it in there, but they've actually got 4 bodies in there because they know at some stage he's going to get that ball into the box. And I'm sure over the next few months, because England have got no games, no serious games, they're going to have friendlies, you'll see a lot of him in the England team.
I always say the best thing you can have at the highest level is pace, but comfortable either side. Too good. As a defender, if you're playing against somebody that can go inside or outside, is comfortable on his left foot or right foot, you're in trouble. You watch the England against Croatia, and many players did in that England 11, comfortable on either side, not many.
So comfortable on one side. Anyway, next. Arsenal are unbeaten and unrivalled. They're 5 points clear of Chelsea, who occupy their highest position of Abraham Grant's reign. Only goal difference separates the 2 Manchester clubs, although United play their game in hand against Fulham on Monday. Liverpool return to the top 4 if they beat Bolton. 5 of the bottom 6 clubs have changed their managers this season, 3 of them in the last week. Neither Paul Jewell nor Steve Bruce could conjure a winning start. Alex McLeish will make his Birmingham bow at Tottenham. Middlesbrough slip into the bottom 3 for the first time this season.
At the start between owner and manager, but within 3 minutes the grins were gone.
Oh, what a goal by Adebayor! It's a stunning ball, and the finish is brilliant. Touch in hat, it's a great finish.
Jeremy very nearly got a very quick equaliser, but Stephen Taylor came closest for Newcastle. Then early in the second half, Taylor did score. His first goal of the season, and what a way to start.
The Geordie boy has brought them level.
Full marks too to Martins for the step over that allowed it to happen. Newcastle have never lost 3 in a row in the Premier League, and Big Sam didn't want to be the manager to change that. Widuka came on and hit over. Taylor's effort went skywards too, with a bit of help from Aboué. The Geordie faithful were a lot happier with this performance. For Arsenal, 2 points lost. For Allardyce and his boss, a very, very welcome point. Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports.
I think the team play and the commitment to start with, stopping the opposition playing and then getting a real severe blow in just a few minutes, but not letting the heads go down and committing to the performance and the game plan and stopping the opposition. Once we'd done that, then we started to get the opposition under pressure. We nearly equalised within a minute of them scoring, and then we had to get the momentum even higher in the second half, and we did that. And once we saw Arsenal on the back foot, and we'd put them on the back foot and they couldn't get going from there on, we pursued an equaliser and pursued a winner for me for the whole of the 45 minutes. And in the end, I feel slightly unlucky today that we haven't won the game. In fact, I feel very unlucky that we haven't won it, because I think we had the better chances to have won it, but didn't find the quality of finish to get the second. But after what the last few results have brought, I'm obviously relieved that we've got a point on the board, and against the best team in the Premiership at the moment, a terrific performance.
Briefly, it's only a point.
Well, I feel a point is maybe a fair result. We are a bit frustrated because we were 1-0 up, and it was a typical winter game in Newcastle, you know, where they did fight for every ball. They were in a crisis, and that crisis got them together, and they did fight really for every ball, and they made it difficult for us. And overall, maybe the draw is all right. We had a great spirit, great resilience, but we didn't create enough going forward tonight because we didn't find our fluency, and that's certainly mainly down to Newcastle.
So tonight's result leaves Arsenal on top of the Barclays Premier League. They are 4 points clear of Manchester United in second and 6 points clear of Chelsea, who are in third. Liverpool do have a game in hand, but they're 7 points back. Arsenal play Middlesbrough next. Newcastle couldn't make it into the top half of the table with that result tonight, but their point at home to Arsenal gives them a 5-point gap back to Birmingham, who they play next in the Premier League.
After winning for the second time in the league under Juan de Ramos, they beat Manchester City 2-1 at White Hart Lane. Pascal Chimba.
The unbeaten record was under threat from early on. Former Arsenal player Jeremy Aliadier went down under the challenge of Kolo Touré, and Stuart Downing opened the scoring. Wenger admitted the Arsenal performance had been below par. Emmanuel Adebayor had their one decent chance of the first half. No wonder the manager was quick to admit the better team had won. And the home victory could have been even more emphatic. Tunshai shooting wide early in the second half. But he was to be given another chance to tie up the victory, and this time he took it, reacting quickly when Gary O'Neill's shot was saved by Almunia. The nature of Borough's victory lifted the mood at the Riverside. Now Southgate's after consistency. That's something Arsene Wenger had been able to take for granted. His team did score in the final seconds through Thomas Rositzky, but the unbeaten run is over at a crucial time. Their next Premier League match is against Chelsea next Sunday. It was Borough's day though. A first win in 12 League and Cup games lifted them out of the relegation places. Richard Hemwood, Sky Sports.
Theo Walcott had a couple of good chances to put Arsenal ahead within the first 5 minutes.
For you, was the only negative not winning the group?
Yes, because we did what, 13 points, we don't win the group. Because I feel tonight Slavia didn't go for anything, and it looks like we didn't put the result we wanted, you know, because we couldn't get the draw. But overall it was a good first half, and it will be an interesting last 16.
What were the highlights for you this evening in terms of your players?
Overall, I feel the good first half after we dropped physically, and the fact that as well that Robin van Persie could get good first half, and Diaby as well come back. We had two players who came back and that some good performances as well. I felt Bentner did well in the first half. Our midfield worked very well. The distances at the back looked good. So overall, it was a very good first half.
Sevilla guaranteed top spot in Group H. They beat Slavia Prague 3-0. Luis Fabiano, Freddie Canute and Daniel Alves with the goals for the Spaniards in Prague. So Sevilla finished a couple of points ahead of Arsenal with 5 wins from their 6 matches. Both teams are through to the knockout stages. Slavia Prague qualify for the UEFA Cup.
Mathieu Flamini has been busy promoting the Treehouse charity for children with autism, which Arsenal support. And along with midfield partners Cesc Fabregas and Alexander Kleb, he hopes to pass a late fitness test. Flamini has been speaking to Dominic Cotton.
It took them a while to settle in, but this is now very much Arsenal's home, and their tough-tackling French midfielder is keen to take up long-term residence. So when will he be signing that new 5-year contract?
I will see. You know, I still have to talk, you know, with my club, and we will see. I'm telling you, I'm very happy here. So after, you know, we will see what's gonna happen. But I would like to stay.
But in the summer, you wanted to move.
Yeah, you know, I was not playing, I was not happy. So if the things will have not changed, you know, maybe it will have been different.
Do you enjoy working for him? I guess you must.
Of course. When I left Marseille, you know, it was very important for me to have Arsene Wenger like a coach. He made the difference, you know. So it's a little bit also why I came to Arsenal, because he was French manager. I was very young, you know, 19. So it was difficult for me to leave my country.
When you said you were going to leave, what was his reaction?
He was a little bit surprised, you know, and he was a little bit surprised. He wanted to understand why, you know, because that was the most important. And when I told him I wanted to leave because I didn't play, you know, in the stud, then he told me you have to fight for your place, and I'm sure if you deserve to play, you will play.
I think the manager was quoted as saying he thinks this is the best group of players he's ever had at Arsenal. Is that how you see it?
You know, I played with amazing players like Patrick Vieira, Robert Pires, Dennis, Thierry Henry. So I've learned a lot, you know, with them. But I can't say, you know, it's a new generation who are starting, and it's a new cycle. So I think it's going to be a very, very good team, you know, that year and the next year is going to come.
His attacking midfield counterpart Cesc Fabregas might be taking the plaudits. Flamini, though, has no problem playing second fiddle.
He's more offensive than me, you know, I'm working harder in defensive. If you don't win the battle, you cannot play your game. So it's very important, you know, from the start of the game when you come in on the pitch, is to win the battle. And I think the midfield is the engine of the team. So if we are winning the battle in the midfield, I think we can win the game.
Flamini scored against Chelsea last season, but injury might keep him sidelined tomorrow. Naturally, he's aware just how important this fixture is.
It's a big games, you know, like we played against Manchester. So of course, you know, everyone want to play, and especially me. Chelsea is a big team, you know. It's gonna be very hard, a tough game. And what is important, I think, is to play our football, you know, and to play very quick passing, and I think that will make the difference against a strong team like Chelsea who defend very well.
With Flamini set to stay at Arsenal, he's keen for those close to him to enjoy the forthcoming holiday season at his place.
But my family is going to come, you know, so it's an important time for everyone, so my family will be with me.
So you're going to put your family up for Christmas?
Yes.
So they'll all come around to your house. Well, who's that? Your mum, your dad?
Yeah, my family, close family, you know, my parents, my sister, and yeah, and me.
And you'll cook the turkey?
I will try, yeah.
Sounds good. Christmas at the Flaminis. So what about Arsenal? I mean, they've been doing terrifically well. Yeah. Fabregas, Kleb, they're the ones who take the headlines as far as the midfield's concerned, Lee. How effective is a man like Flamini?
Well, he's done a brilliant job, and he's been there a couple of years now, and he played an awful lot at left-back, as we remember a few seasons ago, when filled in there. He's a utility player, but I think he's released Fabregas a little bit more this year. Although Fabregas had Gilberto last year, he's also got Kleb and Riziki alongside him, Fabregas now, and with Flamini just doing that holding role, he's bombing on. He's got 11 goals this season. All the plaudits are going to him, but that young man has had an excellent season, and I know he's very highly rated now. I mean, Wenger was going to let him go in the summer. I think he was on his way, thinking about moving. All of a sudden now, you know, he's been ever present up until his injury, and he'll be sadly missed. I think all the midfield players are training today, and they've got a chance of
Fabregas could be back today.
All playing back in the side.
Are you worried about this little blip in Arsenal's form?
Well, I think sometimes young teams, and we keep saying about them being a young team, they're still developing. They've had an excellent start. Sometimes it doesn't do you that much of damage just to get a little rap on the knuckles and say, oh, and lose a game. They were poor last week, and they could have like four goals, but they'll bounce back.
Marcel, what about Chelsea? Unbeaten in 16 and a good record against Arsenal.
I would say that the players have been very professional. They have really respect Chelsea, the club himself, because it's been very difficult after the Mourinho thing, and really they have tried really to give their best for the club. And Avram Grant has been clever. He's there tactically. He's putting his own, you know, hands on the style of Chelsea. Abramovich asked him, you know, try and be more, skill and fluent, and he looks like he's working. And the players have really get the confidence also. Then I'm quite. Also, you know, before, yes, Arsenal was really a difficult team to play, but now, I mean, we are not scared anymore.
It's
we can do
might
it.
be a good time to play.
So that's a 0-0 then.
It's a 0-0. yeah, just puts a dampener on things. And you'll be able to see the best of tomorrow's big London derby. Not forgetting Liverpool v Manchester United on Match of the Day 2, 10:50 BBC One. Today's games, press red for score for the latest from 2:30. Match of the Day tonight with the best of today's Premier League games, 10:30 BBC One. And Ricky Hatton's world welterweight title fight with Floyd Mayweather in full on 1, or on 2 rather, from 1. Right, to Scotland now. Let's take a look at the weekend's games in the SPL. Hibs, who've taken just 1 point from a possible 9, take on Falkirk. The big game at the
and got the power, you know, to hold the ball up. And if he ain't holding the ball up and they're playing one up front, Chelsea, it's just going to come back in waves and waves and waves. And that's the thing that worries me with tomorrow without Drogba.
I mean, after the 0-0 against Valencia, Avram Grant said, tonight we played great football and we deserved to win 5-0. But I mean, that's the problem, isn't it, Paul? Deserved to win 5-0, but finished goalless.
I watched the game. They did deserve. He went 2 up front first half with Shevchenko and Pizarro, but they haven't got crosses of the ball. You know, no disrespect to Wright Phillips, but he can't cross the ball. You know, for how good he is at taking people on, his final crosses, 9 times out of 10 it's not good enough, and it should be the other way round. It should be 9 out of 10 should be good. And that's what worries him. And then in the second half he put Pizarro up front, and that never worked. He took Shevchenko off, he dropped him back into midfield, put Kalou up front. they just don't make enough chances. And it was all right at home.
I think he'll play Pizarro up front.
I think he will, because he's big
I just think for height.
Yeah,
I think for the height thing, because Arsenal are poor at set pieces, and I think he'll occupy a defender. He's not particularly great at link-up, but I generally do think that they'll play with him, because Shevchenko, the movers in terms of Kalou and Shevchenko, Arsenal have got bags of pace, so they can defend high up the pitch, whereas I think they'll want someone who can maybe have more of a physical presence.
Yeah, hold the ball up and then get it out wide, and then they can break from there. Otherwise,
I did the Chelsea game last weekend against Sunderland. You'd expect them to have chance after chance after chance. The second half, I think they've had one where Frank Lampard hit the post. And he was so disappointing. Without Drogba there, and we can talk about that all the time, it's maybe a good topic, they were so poor. And yet Grant came out after it and said, oh, he was extremely pleased of how well they played. I didn't see it.
Oh, big weekend. Ashley Cole, of course, returned to his old club for the first time since he left. Arsene Wenger has called for a fair reception for Cole. Yeah. Interesting market.